Hello my listener, my name is Ambrose. Welcome back to the keyboard topic. In our previous lecture, we talk about the shift key, we talk about the caps lock. We said the caps lock is one of the key that is used to swap to either capital letter or small letter. Please don't forget, after you finish watching or downloading, please just click on the notification button or just subscribe to this channel in order for you to get new notification about this program. Okay, now we are talking about a keyboard. In our previous lecture, I explained some details about these function keys and some of the functions, what each of them represent, and I also told you about the caps lock. So today we are going to continue from where we stop. I'm continuing from shift key. Okay, so this one is called shift key. So let's see. Okay, I put down the definition here. Shift key is used to call other keys or other key that was combined in one button. Hence, it can also be used to navigate alphabet to either small letter or either capital letter or small letter during typing, etc. If you remember very well in our previous study, or if you are with us in our previous study, or if you watch the previous study about this keyboard, we talk about caps lock, and I said the caps lock, even though this caps lock is used to swap to either capital letter or small letter, does not mean that that is the only function of this caps lock. That this caps lock key can also be used for other things. Depends on the program you are using. They react according to the program you are using, or they react according to the program how it was designed by the programmers. Okay, so the shift key here is used to call other keys that was combined in one button. So without wasting much time, let us see what I mean by this shift key. Okay, you can see now we have the shift key here. We also have the shift key here. But in case you don't have the shift key in your button twice like this, no problem. Now, sometimes they may not write shift here, like the one we are having in our screen here. We have it called shift. Sometimes they can decide to draw this very arrow. Depends on the manufacturer of that particular keyboard. Some company, they can decide to just put always arrow. So just for you to know that it's called shift key. Now, in any means you are typing or you come in contact with some keys in your keyboard, and you notice that some of those keys, some of them are combined in one button. Some of them, they are being combined, they combine them in one particular buttons. So in order for you to get those buttons, those ones that was combined to be in one button, you need the help of the shift key. Please take note. Even if I define that the shift key is used to call or to search for those keys that was combined in one button, does not mean that that is the only function of the shift key. I'm just making this definition based on for a beginner and also for the purpose of the agenda of the shift key. So now, what do I mean by this shift key? Let us do some practical in order for we to understand it properly. Remember what I said, like this very key. Okay, this very key, I have to zoom it so that you see it very well. look at it very well. You can see this one is at 2 at the bottom, hash at the top, 3 at the bottom, $sign 4 at the bottom, percentage sign, then we have 5 at the bottom, raise power 6 at the bottom, and the rest of all the keys that we are seeing currently in our screen. They will also have some other keys like columns, semicolons, double quotation, comma, greater than, lesser than, comma, full stop, question mark is at the top, slash is at the bottom. In order for we to get those key, or in order for me to gain access to those key that was originally designed at the top of these keys, I need the help of this shift key. The shift key will help me to call them, or the shift key will help me to search them out. By holding down your shift key and press this key, which means if I press 4, because I told you that this side is called number keys, if I press 1 will appear before us. That is, let us press it. I come here, I press 1. I'm using the number side, 1 appear before us. Okay, but if I decide to hold down my shift, if you are there you can practicalize it. If I decide to hold down my shift and press the 1, automatically exclamation mark comes up. If I hold down my shift again and press, which is the 2, automatically the at function or the at symbol will appear before us. If I press only 2 will appear. But if I hold down the shift and press the 2 button, 2 at will appear. So what we are trying to explain is that this at, or for we to gain access to other key that was combined in one button, we need the help of this shift. Okay, so that is why we said the shift key is used to call other key that was combined in one button. Hence, it can also be used to navigate alphabet to capital or small letter during typing. Let me explain this very one. For instance, I want to type let's say I type Jesus. Currently the caps lock is, I want to on the caps lock. I on it and I press Jesus. Now the caps lock is on, and yet my alphabet is still showing capital letter. But if I hold down the shift key, the shift button, I hold it now, I press J E S U S. So because I hold down the shift key, all my alphabet, even though the caps lock is on, the alphabet automatically is now responding as small letter. But if I off the caps lock and hold the shift key, please take note, and hold the shift key, I have off the caps lock, and I hold down my shift key and press J E S U S. Automatically the Jesus that we are typing currently appear or is responding to us as capital letter. It's as if maybe I hold, or it's as if maybe I on my caps lock. I didn't on my caps lock. I didn't on it. I only hold down the shift key. Sometimes maybe if you are typing, you don't want to be owning the caps lock and turning it off and turning it on at the same time. You can decide to hold down your shift key. Let's assume my name starts with A. I don't want to off the caps lock and come back again and on it. I can swear hold down my shift at the side of, or the side that's closer to me, because the shift can be the left hand side, it can be the right hand side. Sorry, all you need to do, hold down your shift and press A, and go ahead and type it. So you see, by holding down the shift, whatever you want to input, automatically the first letter will be capital letter, and you can swear leave it. So that is what I said. That is why I said, hence the caps lock can also be used to navigate alphabet to capital letter or small letter during typing. Okay, all right, we go to another one again, which is called control and alternate. Control and alternate. Let me reduce my zoom so that you see properly. Control and alternate. I'm coming to this. Control and alternate. Let us see its functions. Control. Let us control and alternate. This is the abbreviation. These are keys that depends on other key before carrying any action, or let me define it again in other terms. These are key that they work as interdependent before they work as interdependent. That is control and alternate. This key are very powerful when we are working. Let me put etc because that is not the major agenda. Control and alternate. These are keys that depends on other key before carrying out any actions, or they work. They respond as in they work as interdependent. They work as interdependent. Okay, they work as an interdependent. That means in order for this very key, if you press it in your keyboard, it may not respond. If you press it, there's nothing will work. Now I need to, for instance, I say Control plus A. By holding down my Control plus A, it may respond. So control and alternate, these are keys that cannot carry out their functions without the help of other keys. That means they depends on other key before completing their tasks. They cannot carry out their own responsibility without the help of other keys. They depends on each other before they work. Just like in church, if you are speaking in tongue, the other person does not know how to speak in tongue, or just like you are very good in interpretation of tongues, does not mean that you are superior to another. Or is for the purpose of the work of God. So this one does not, this control cannot say I'm powerful than this one, or for the purpose of the command you want to issue. So control and alternate, these are keys that depends on other keys before carrying out any action. Okay, so we are not going to finish the discussion about this control and alternate for this very course, because their function are very broad, depends on the program you are using, determine their response and determine their functions. Okay, but this is the definition I can give to you about this control and alternate. Okay, all right, we move to another one again, which is window. This one is called window key. Window key three, window key. Is one of the key that represent the startup menu in your keyboard. Okay, let me upload this. Window key is one of the key that represent the startup, or that represent startup buttons in your keyboard. This is it. What's the function? Sorry, if I press this, if I don't want to come here, look at it, this very one now. If I click here, I can search for a program here, the application I want to open. But if you think that this one is more quicker, you can go ahead and press it. Let's press it. I press. You see now. So this very key represent here. This window key represent here. Okay, this window key represent here, and that is why I said window key is one of the key that represent the startup menu, okay, in your keyboard. Okay, we need to change here to taskbar. It represents your startup menu in your taskbar, because this place is called taskbar. So that's why I change it to taskbar. Okay, we go to another one again, which is space. This one is called space. Space, let's add the word etc, because I told you that despite the fact that I define this window key, this is not the only the function of this key in computer. This is not the function that it carry out in computer. Depends on the program you are operating. Depends on the program you are operating. I can say window plus M to minimize all windows, but depends on the program you are operating, determine the action to respond to the user. Okay, so the next thing we want to talk about is space bar or space button. Space button is one of the longest key that enable individual to differentiate words from each other during typing, etc. Please. Example on what I mean by space buttons. If I type time, I give a space. Time, I give a space. God, I give a space. Thank God. Okay? Or Jesus. You see? Space. Or comma, accounting, I give a space. Okay? So this is how to use the space button. And the space button, you can use your thumb. Depends on the one that is closer to you, determine the one you are going to use to press on it. So this is called space button. It's called space button. Is one of the key that is used or that enable individual to differentiate words from each other during typing or when typing. Okay, then we have another one again, which is window is here, window is here. I am going to explain to you why we have window here and we have window here. Don't worry about that. Okay, then we have another thing again, which is tab. Okay, this one is called tab. So let us explain it before we forget it. Now basically I am going to say tab key help the user to move your cursor from one point to another, etc. This is what I mean. Now, this is your insertion point of your cursor. If I type, for instance, I want to prepare something like CV. In order for my information to be in appropriate manner, I need the help of tab. For instance, personal data. Okay, enter. I say name colon. I need to use tab, which is this very one now. This very one now. When the tab move, when it go to the extreme, it return back. That is why we have this very arrow. Okay, when it move to the end of the point, return back. Okay, so now I want to practicalize my owner so that you understand. Name, I press tab 1 2 3 or 4. I type name Ambrose. Enter, a return back. Surname, column 1 2 3. Okay, so I didn't use 3 because of the length of surname and the name are not the same. Only same. Enter, other name, column, tab, Oloma. You see, automatically my arrangement of my names, if you are preparing this kind of data or if you are preparing this kind of information, the tab key helps you to manage it. But that is not the major agenda why they designed the tab key. Just like I said earlier before, if this one is designed for only this, does not mean that is the only function it works. Depends on the program, depends on the action, or depends on the command. Okay, so they work as multi-purpose functions, depends on the program you are using. So that is why I normally, when after defining it, I end it up by saying etc. Okay, another one again. We are done with caps lock, so let's reduce our zoom. Let us go to backspace. Okay, backspace. Okay, so I put down here backspace key is used to erase unwanted data during typing, and it can also be used to return window, return your window backward. etc. Now backspace, the backspace key is used to erase unwanted data during typing, and it can also be used to return your window backward. Let us explain these two. For instance, I type Ambrose and my spelling is wrong. I can put it here and press, this is backspace. Okay, back, erase, back, it will erase, back, it will erase. Okay, now, but I can swear use the backspace key to return my window backward. That is only when you are in your window environment. So let us minimize it. I can't return back my window. I can't return backward my window here. So let us minimize it and do some practical. Now Remember that this is my window. I open it. Okay, now that I've opened here, this is my first page. I open another room again. Okay, you can see this is back now. Okay, I open another room again. I can press backspace, return back. You see, it return you backward. Okay, other shortcut can also be used. So that is another method you can use the backspace. Okay, that's what I said. The backspace key is used to erase unwanted data during typing, and it can also be used to return your window backward. etc depends on the program you are using. Determine the functions, because the function of that backspace can also be used for other things. Okay, let's go back again. Let's see the one we have not explained. Enter key. The enter key is used to issue command. Okay, and the enter key also represent your left click buttons. So let us see. Enter buttons. Okay, help us to issue command, or it can also be used. It's used to issue command, and is also a key. It's a key that represent left click in your mouse. That means, what I mean is that this enter key, just like as we said, it helps us to issue command. This very button you can use to issue command. That means, let's assume maybe you finish inputting your keyboard in your system, you finish inputting your password in your system, I mean to say, you can hit the enter button and automatically it will open. Or you can have a window. If you don't want to click, you can make sure that the window is active and hit the enter button. It open. Go ahead again, come here and hit the enter button. It opens for you. So you can also use the enter button provided the thing is active, and make sure that you hit the enter button. Just hit it, don't hit it hard, and it will open for you. So that's what I said. The enter button is used to issue command, and it can also be, it's also a key, or it's a key that represents left click. Let's add buttons, left click buttons in your mouse. Another one again, etc. We have another one again, which is, we have explained shift here, we have explained enter, and we also explained backspace. Another thing that we have not explained in this area is this very key. Okay, so let us explain it. So it's one of the key we refer as application key. Okay, let's see. Enter application key. let us copy this one and paste it here and make some changes. Take this one off. It's a key that represents right. Okay, click button in mouse. Okay, so this application key is a key that represents right click button in your mouse. Okay, so it serves as the right click button. So if you don't want to press this right click, I can also press the application key in my keyboard. You see, so let us see how it works. Minimize, press, right click. You see, Nabi, I can swear right click in my mouse. So that is why we refer it as application key. So the key represents your right click button. So if you don't want to press the right click, you can swear use this particular keyboard. But in case, let me zoom in so I see it. This is what I mean by that. Okay, this is how it look like. But in case you don't have it in your laptop or in your keyboard, don't bother. Okay, I just want to try as much as possible to explain all the keys. Okay, so this is from the whole of this very part, and yeah, we are done with this one. Okay, so let me include this one, escape button. Now, escape button is a button that is used to escape some unwanted pop-up window. That is the escape button, you can use it to remove unwanted pop-up menu. That is what I mean by unwanted pop-up menu. Let us practicalize it. I will right click, and I don't want this window anymore. I say I beg, come on, Joe. I just press escape button. Right click, escape. Right click, you can press escape. You can use it to undo an actions. Okay, so that is one of the major functions of this escape button. But that is not only the function. Okay, it can also be used for other medium. Depends on the program you are currently on or you are working in that particular moment. Okay, so that's why we call it escape button. From here to whole of this point, I believe you understand their functions and what it does in your computer system. Okay, now in our next video I am going to explain all these ones, and here and also these ones. Okay, in our next video. All right, okay, so I am going to stop here. Then I will also show you how to distribute your finger in your keyboard, or how your finger should be placed when you are typing in keyboard. Thank you very much. Remain blessed. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel.